making money, and I really appreciate somebody's taking care of their own people.
So, Liz is a crochet master and volunteer for the organization. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
My name is Anthony.
Anthony, he's pledging for one of the organizations in this building, and Joseph is our hosting representative from the All Niveau Lodge. So, thank you for hosting us. Appreciate it again.
Anytime.
The first conversation that we had got a little heated, so we kept it very quick and short. I know you guys, so I feel more comfortable in this more setting. It's not going to be that bad. As the sergeant for the Bronx County Department of Public Safety, my goal is to give more of a bridge to the civilian population and the law enforcement with the controversial things that are going on. All I'm going to ask you, if you guys don't know, is one, share your opinions on the matter that's going on, and then what your advice is on how we can, I don't want to say fix the issue, but blend it, maybe soften it, the officers and the general population. All lives matter is a topic. Some people look at it as blue lives matter, some people see black lives matter, Hispanic lives, and stuff like that. Me personally, I'll start it off if you guys don't mind. You know, working in the public safety, I'm also a chaplain with the Chaplains Workers Task Force, which is part of the 48th and 45th precinct. Now, I know personally that officers have a bad reputation in the community. I walk by and every time I see a cop, I say, you know, thanks for your service and thank you. Just a quick take, I don't go into details with them, but they seem so nonchalant about it. Man, you know, whatever, they didn't want to talk to me. So, but working with the young explorers and some of the programs that they're doing now, it seems a little different to me. They're working like 12-hour shifts a day. You have to deal with people being mean to them and not showing them too much respect. So when they're walking in the street, I'm assuming they see us as hostile without being hostile. And I would prefer to meet the officers on a personal level, their names, you know, see them more frequently than when somebody's getting arrested or into a drug bust. So this is my way of pushing and fixing, no, not once again not fixing, but mediate with the community and the law enforcement. If anybody has an opinion, please forward in there.
I feel the same. I feel if they do more community activities, but based, like when there's a festival or something, if they interact more with the community, and if they keep the same policemen in the same community, people are going to get to know them more. Because the problem is that when they have patrol officers, there are different ones every day. So the community don't know them. So they can't get that one-on-one. So they have to do some more positive. So I mean, it's, police officers, they're under a lot of stress. And it's like, they automatically defensive because of everything that's going on. But if they had more positive interaction with people, not only not when they're going to arrest them, maybe then they'll be more open, but then they won't be so hostile.
Anybody else?
Well, as far as the problem as a whole, I think the solution, there's multiple levels on solution, but just to piggyback on what you said as far as community involvement, I agree with that, but I also agree, I think that it needs to be more, as far as you said, having the same police officers in the community. I think we also need to have officers that are from the communities, policing those communities, because as you said, like he walks by and says, you know, gives them thanks for that, and they're so nonchalant about it. I think if you have people from the communities, they have interaction with those people outside of work. You know, there's more social responsibility. You're less likely to be aggressive or rude to somebody that you're going to deal with on a daily basis. You're going to see people, your neighbors and whatnot. So I think that's one solution as far as having people from those communities policing the neighborhoods from where they belong. I think they're going to also have more attachment to their community. They're going to look at it not so much as just an authoritative force there, but actually trying to connect with the people and fix the problems of the community if they're actually from those places.
Have you continued your work with the ACL?
Yeah, I've done stuff with them more so just on knowing your rights aspect, getting people to know their rights, to know when because I mean the officers are there to uphold the law, not to be the law, and a lot of times they get that confused. A lot of times officers are not even aware of what they can and can't do, and people aren't aware, so they don't know when their rights are being violated. So I think if we educate people more on that, that kind of alleviate some of the issues. So yeah,
I feel like everything right now is like a catch-22. You can't tell the police to police themselves if we as a community don't police ourselves. A lot of white neighborhoods, I'd say, don't have this problem. Why? Because just say they keep their neighborhoods clean. If you go into a white neighborhood, you throw something on the floor, you're more inclined to pick it up right away and properly put it in the trash can. It's like if somebody comes to your house, they can tell what type of person you are. You know, I've been in the houses where people spill soda and right away somebody cleans it up. I've been in the houses where people spill soda and it's like this nonchalant thing where, all right, well, we'll get to it when we get to it. So as a community, if we are able to police ourselves, you know, you gotta also look at it as, if I'm a cop and I know that you two are gonna beefing between each other, whether it's over territory, a pair of sneakers, a female, if y'all gonna do whatever y'all do to each other, why am I gonna care for your community? At the end of the day, whatever I do, it's not gonna matter because I'm gonna look at it as you're doing it to yourselves anyway. But if we come together as a unit and as a community, then now we can have the cops come in to uphold the law. Like, snitching is bad in the community, we all know that. But if somebody's bringing down your community, you need to get that person out of there. Because what people fail to realize is, a lot of these cops, they're scared. You know, it's a catch-22. I went to be an auxiliary cop, and the first thing they told me was, you can't do that in your community. One, you may know drug dealers. Two, you may know things that are going on. Three, you're going to be a target if you arrest the wrong person. Because now they know where you live. They know where your family stays. So this is why they pick people. So if you live in the Heights, they're going to put you in the Lower West Side. Or they're going to put you in the East Bronx, where nobody in that general area knows who you are, where you live at, or anything else like that. So we got to police ourselves. We got to try to help them help us. You know, that's just my views on it because, like I said, if I know there's a drug dealer and right away everything's going down, the kids in my community are acting up, I got a bunch of deaths in my community, I got this and this and this, it all stems from one place. But I live in the projects, and I know the majority of the officers that patrol the projects are white guys. Now, they know walking into the projects, as a youth, you're already taught that the police are bad. Don't associate with the police, but you want us to call the police when things are going wrong. But we're not allowed to snitch. So it's a cultural thing. We got to, as a community, start setting ourselves up and setting the youth up in order for them. Because when you see things on TV nowadays, you got black kids fighting black kids, Hispanic kids fighting Hispanic kids, black kids fighting Hispanic kids. The cop comes, they all run. So you mean to tell me that everybody's wrong in that situation? No, what the problem is we're taught to run from the cops automatically. As soon as you hear the lights, you go to any community that is a minority community, as soon as you hear a siren or as soon as you see flashing lights, it could be a tow truck, and I guarantee you everybody's head will turn and start looking for that light right away. Because the way the cops are taught to fear minorities, because, you know, we all have unlicensed guns, or we all carry knives, we all don't respect the badge, we don't do this, we don't do that. It's the same way we're taught to fear them and disrespect them because, oh, what's the most famous line in the hood? If you ain't have that badge and gun on, I'll kick your ass right now. That is like the most famous line in every community. We got to get away from that. We can't be teaching our youth that. Because at the end of the day, now we have things that, you know, a cop feels disrespected, he has a firearm. Or a kid feels disrespected, he goes upstairs and gets his uncle's firearm. And now you have a community fighting itself, and then you have the people that are supposed to help and protect the community fighting the community as well. And I just think it doesn't add up that way. You can't go forward if we're all imploding on each other.
I hear you on that, but as far as us policing ourselves, I think the police need to first serve as an example of that. Because you talk about we got bad people, we should tell them, but police don't do that. They got the blue wall of silence.
Exactly.
They got corrupt officers, you know, doing all this stuff, and they don't speak up against that. And y'all the ones meant to uphold the law. So y'all don't even do that amongst yourselves, and you're trying to tell the people that it's not even our job to do that. So first, I think if you the police officer, you sign up for that, you should serve as that example. I do agree with you as far as us policing our communities. We should be more active in that. As far as I believe, you know, to go to the extent of having our own separate, basically whatever you want to call it, but armed individuals that legally have weapons, able to patrol their communities alongside with the police. One, to keep their community safe, and also to keep the police in check. Because I think that either that or there has to be a whole restructuring of the police force in general. Because one, you talk about there needs to be a third party sort of review board for the police. Because whenever there's any complaints, because you got the police review exactly, it's a conflict of interest there. So you have there needs to be some sort of sensitivity training and interactive training. If you're not going to have police from those communities, they need to know how to interact with those people and understand the whole cultural ins and outs of those communities. Like I said, it's a complicated subject, you know.
It's very complicated.
I'm sorry, adding to what you said as far as like how, you know, they have, let's say, police officers from Long Island patrolling, let's say the hub, and they're not that familiar with that area and how everybody interacts. I don't think that's the right thing to do, because that's why these officers who are not familiar, let's say, with the Bronx, they're quick to, like, you know, put their hands on the gun because they're nervous. They're not blaming them, but they're not used to that. You can't just like put them out there and expect them to.
It shouldn't be there.
It shouldn't be that way. I mean, I know you said that
It's
I know it's a
catch-22.
catch-22. Like you said, they would put
That's
somebody
how
like
corrupt
you.
cops, you know, like at this point, that's how you corrupt a cop, because if me and you went to school together, you dabbling in this, now I'm on your payroll as a cop. You know, because we grew up together, we in the same hood.
Not
You know what I'm saying?
necessarily, not, you shouldn't
But
be that way.
it should.
You shouldn't do
But
that.
this is the main reason why
If he's an officer, even though, like, in my thing, I grew up in a multi-world thing now. I grew up in really bad, and I got out of it, because I grew up in gangs, family in gangs, doing drugs, selling drugs, doing everything possible. You did it. No. I shot the nigga. Straight up. He shot me, I shot him. Didn't care. Okay, cop, reason I didn't get arrested, guy was shooting at the cop, same time, and when we did it, the sergeant said, if they don't find the guns, everything is okay. So, everything was fine with that, but I grew up with the police are overseers, like they originally were. All police are overseers. Nobody want to get it, but they were overseers to our communities, our ethnic communities. In the South, that's where it started. And they still got the mentality. And like you were saying, they live here, they want to send them there. They should keep them there, and maybe they behave. If they live in their community, they respect their community. And we also have the right to have a private police force. You know that. We can have armed police force, and we could designate sections and have armed police force, that the police force don't need to come in, because that's privatized by us. And if this neighborhood wanted to make a police station, as long as they're doing it legally, and with all the laws in the city and the state and the country, they do it right, you can have an armed police force. And then there could be neighborhood people that protect people, you know, not turn against each other or be bad or become overseers. Eventually, everything good comes back. You get leeway, people, it's 1 or 2, maybe all 4, 5 of us, or 6 of us start this, and it's great. 5 years down the line, 3-year leave, and the new 3 people will say, I can make some money with this. And that's what happens. And bottom line, you're gonna make money. I came from spots like when I lived in Washington Heights. You ever remember that fire department guy got burned? Thing? Did they mention in the news? Because I was trying to go in the news, and I was telling them, and they went, no, put it on. That fire department guy went to that guy's house, stole $100,000, put in his jacket, and the guy came with the drug dealer, I know, went up to him to the police station, fire station, said, yo, I want my money back, and the white guy laughed at him. He laughed at him. So, call the police. That's the only thing you can do to somebody. Turn them. They're doing something. So we got 90% of his body burned. But when the police news crew came, said, oh, those people are bad, they're all drug dealers. I grew up in the Heights. If you wasn't into stuff, you wasn't part of them. Okay? I'm being racial, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm mixed Spanish. In Washington Heights in the 80s, we knew the black people because it was like 7 black people. The Dominican people kept to themselves to drugs. My family was more safe, I got daughters, in that neighborhood right there because the drug distributor, one of my friends, protect the whole neighborhood. Didn't let no drugs go around his neighborhood because he was protecting his family and this. And the only people doing that is the people coming in. It was funny. You get the white people and cops buying drugs off us. I had to tell the PAL sergeant up in the Heights when he was doing his coke. Because PAL, you know, your PAL groups, that's not but a stage, that's up the front to see what's going on in the community. Because my wife worked for them, and she got fired because she wasn't helpful. Because she done ran out on everybody. But PAL is to see what's going on in the community. That's what that really was made for. And I know that because she used to go, she told me, look, your boys are about to get busted because they told me. They wanted, it was a drug spot. You notice they were in bad neighborhoods. Drug spots, they have their PL things. They stay there, stage stuff, watch who's coming in and out. The fire department chief and sanitation chief was going to get his coke up there. And I said, yo, you better leave because they're looking at you right now. And my wife told him, they want to arrest you because that's what they were talking about today. They're going to get you today. And he just kept on walking. Never went there again. Because I know, I meet you the bad and the good. Now, I live in the Upper West Side. I think it's funny. I live in the Upper West Side, only white people now. And my friends laugh at me. I'm in gangs. I just told brothers, I just gave my bike up like 4 years ago to my godson by blood, my water, it's a Spanish thing, you know, godson by water. And I gave him my bike. My vest is still in the club. But I'm a Mason now. And I gave up that life to do this. So I do better doing that. And frankly, it was boring right now. Too old for that. Banging is too old. You know, you get a certain age, you got to stop. Everything got to stop and go move on. If you stay here, you're down. Anytime you stay in one position, another 5 years, you got to do something else. That's why I love my mission.
You're like that 10% that actually sees it
And analyze it.
and gets away from
You got to analyze things.
But nowadays, it's like we are caught in our own kind of social jungle, like our own little social jail. Like, why would I want to get up and get a job when my mom got this apartment for $250 a month and welfare is giving me food, welfare is giving me money? Why do I want to get up and go work? Why do I want to look at like you, Dad? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you left. But why would I want to look like you coming home tired, worrying about if my lights and everything going to get cut off? Like, that's the social like jail that allowed us to end, you know, and I'm blessed to have a job where I travel to different states.
The media
and I
does
see
that to
things.
me. The media does that.
It does.
Yo, look at these guys' shoes. These guys' shoes. I go to pay less in their shoes because I got to take care of my kids. But a young man ain't going to see that. They're going to see my friends got real nice shoes. I got to do that. And you can't. It's no more supermarket jobs no more. It's no more just jobs. Everything's gone. Like, when I was a kid, I could work in a supermarket. Right now, the kids, teenagers now, can't work in the supermarkets because they got, well, the immigrants doing that, so they got to do drugs. You cannot make the money.
Either that or the culture has shown them that you don't have to hustle.
The music.
You don't have to do nothing. When I was growing up, anybody can walk into a grocery store and pack bags and make a little side
I know,
change.
me too.
Anybody could, help deliver groceries and stuff like that. Now, socially, it's like, why do that? Why am I going to work when I can live for free? Let everybody else do that. And that's what it is. It's like, yeah, I want the new Jordans, But really, what does Jordans do? You know what I'm saying? Like, my biggest gripe, say with Jordan, and this is personal, but if you know you have people out there killing each other for your shoes, why you still mass produce the shoes?
It's money.
You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. If I'm in a black community, and I'm living in a black community, and I have all this money, I'm not helping the black community, but I'm destroying it more. Because I know people want my product. Now, say if I lower my product to like something affordable, like in Payless, I'm still gonna profit. Look at Shaq.
It's the same shoe.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same shoe. Shaq profits. His is in Kmart. His is in Walmart.
I think Allen Iverson did the same thing.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing it. And
Same
then
with
all
Chinese people making it one day, making it the next
exactly.
day.
And all it is a tag. It's us as an adults, because the first thing as us growing up in youth, we sit there and we have kids, and the first thing we normally say is, I'm not going to treat my kid like my parents treated me. You know, we felt embarrassed when we had to go to Caldors to buy a pair of jeans.
I went to Alexander's.
We didn't have, you know, Alexander's, you know, it wasn't Old Navy. It wasn't, you know, and personally, I went into the Lost and Found in high school. My mom didn't have money. I had Payless shoes, but I went to the Lost and Found, you know, somebody claimed their Nikes. That was my Nikes. Went home, got some disinfectant spray, you know, sprayed them joints up.
Better than you, I could have climbed. I climbed up a pole one day. Oh, I got a little scratch like this.
Is that how you do that, president?
That's how you got it. You know, like one of the funniest real life things that I've ever had happen was me and my best friend were walking. And that's back when Bear was all out in the big bubble coat.
Yeah.
The dudes jumped us, took his coat. 5 minutes later, came back, threw it at him and said, "This ain't a bear coat. This is gonna take long." Back at him. So now you don't beat us, you robbed us, and then you give it back because it's not name brand.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the way society has massaged everybody's mind. And
It's
now,
advertisement and media did that to you.
yeah, and that's what it is. Nobody wants to live above that influence. You know what I'm saying? I was taught by, you know, I didn't have a father growing up, so I had a bunch of multiple men, and thank God that they were all positive men in my life. And then I joined a military cadet program, you know, organization, and they showed me that, yo, we make clothes. Clothes don't make you who you are. You know what I'm saying? You can put on the uniform any day. You can have a good cop in the same uniform as you have a bad cop. You can have a good soldier in the same uniform as you have a bad soldier. You can have a good person in the same clothes as a bad person. Somebody can wear an Armani suit and do wonders for a community, and somebody can wear the same Armani suit and take from the community, and the community won't even realize it. So it's a matter of us being adults and teaching our youth how to live above a certain mindset that they're already programmed into. Like, there's a reason why our parents were the way they were. I mean, granted, some of us, we did get in enough trouble, we did get locked up, but there was a reason for it. You know, they say it takes a village to raise a child. And it's true. I'm only 36 years old, but I remember if you did some crazy crap in the street, you got yelled at by your neighbor.
Yelled at? That's what you got? I got my ass, I lived on the fifth floor. I got my ass kicked on every floor.
You know what I'm saying?
I was in a stolen car when I was 9 years old, me and my boy Paul. My father crosses the street. Well, I got the steering wheel, my boy's right next to him. His father crosses the street, and we like this going low. And I'm a little guy, so I'm going even lower. And he's saying, Joe. And they pull us up, they put my ass in the corner. The guy came out the pool, beat my ass. I went to the first floor, the guy's like, everybody was beating our ass, the whole neighborhood. Beating our ass.
But see, it was different, I guess, back in
I live in Belmont, I treat them up.
Because nowadays, like, even parents that say,
Can't
if
even
they want to, like, get their kids to teach them a lesson,
My
you
daughter
have to
told
be
me
like,
that.
oh, the
My daughter told me
The
that.
teachers in school telling them, your
Right.
parents hit you, this is the number to call.
Right.
My daughter came home and was like, "Dad, you can't hit me." I looked at her and said, "I'm going to hit you. You act up, I'm going to hit you." She goes, "I'm going to call this number." I said, "The only thing they're going to do is take you from the house. That's it. They're going to look at me, they're going to question me, but you're going to be gone. You're going to have some new parents that may do even worse than you, like your friends. Remember, you got all your friends that don't live at home with mom and dad. And so you got to look at it that way. But that's the way society has positioned everybody's mind.
My daughter told me that, same thing. My daughter told me that, you hit me, I'm calling the cops. I said, I was going to tell them I'm going to kill your ass. Because, that's why my youngest daughter, I told her, I'm an alpha and an omega. I kill your ass, it doesn't make a difference, I created your ass. 'Cause I grew up in the straight up, everybody knows, don't stop me up. I want to tell you what they say, because it starts with an M, and start the little one up. Because I got issues, and I got issues with everything, and I still got issues. In the training, I got issues, and I think, like right now, you got your legs big, like, I don't like your mama, she ain't that. I'm saying that. I'm straight up, I don't care. I got issues. I used to like just having fights in the street for no reason. That's how I grew up, because I used to think. High school, I used to drink and have my gun in my car. Social studies book, I had my gun in my car. I had my gun, I didn't care, because that's where we grew up. And then all of a sudden, my mind clicked. I don't want to do that no more. I was the worst student in the world up until 10th grade. And then I became, because I was always the smartest kid. I analyzed the whole book, and it's downloaded. Stacy. So in high school, rest of the year, when I decided, 10th grade, because the football coach said, yo, your grades getting bad, you're not coming back, you're not going to be in the team. I said, yo, it stopped. And I got good grades ever since. And my daughters, like you said, you don't want your kids to do this.
Yeah,
I gave my daughters everything. My father used to steal from me. Any money I got, my father stole. So all my daughters have everything. We have everything, right? They have everything. My grandson.
And that's the thing, like, I teach my daughters, you gotta earn, like, my daughters do little things now. They'll dirty a dish just to clean it, say, well, we earned the fact that you're gonna give us some money, Dad. Like,
My daughters didn't get that far.
But it was different. It was different for the generations, because even my generation, I was raised, I had chores to do, I had things to do in the house. Even if I couldn't go outside at a certain time, and if I did go outside, I knew once the light went down, I went upstairs. It was just different that everybody looked out for everybody. In my building, I knew everybody on every floor. But nowadays, you can live in a building and you don't know anybody on your floor. Everybody minds their business, and everybody's like, something happens to you in the hallway. Everybody, instead of opening the door to look, nope, they lock the door.
Nah, we didn't hear that.
Or the rules.
Yeah.
What you got to say? You didn't say that.
And that's the basis of this whole conversation, is that, you lack social decency towards one another. You walk out your door, my neighbors might not even speak to you at all. So how am I have empathy or compassion for this individual if something did happen to him? Because we already got that block. The same thing with people coming into the community, the police. We don't speak to them, they don't speak to us. I don't know you, you don't know me. You're here for a job, you want to do your job, and that's it. It's a numbers thing, it's a financial obligation. So if we lack common respect and common courtesy towards one another, we're never going to go nowhere as far as progressing socially with police or even each other.
Exactly.
I walk out my door so many times and it's like my neighbor's a stranger.
Well,
And he lives right next door, and I try to have a conversation. It's like I'm talking to a wall because something may be in his head where he doesn't want to speak to me. He doesn't want to get that.
And added to what you're saying, and to what you said earlier, I think it just goes back to basics, like, how you doing, welcome, how you doing,
That's it.
thank you, and all that stuff. Like you said, like, sometimes you get out in the streets and you say hello to the cops or whatever, and then they just ignore you for whatever reason. It's like, that's you, you're an adult. So, obviously, like, the cops are not going to take the time to go in the community, look at a kid and say, hey, how you doing today? Is everything all right? How's school? Those are the simple things that I think matter, because kids should not, like you were saying, should not hear sirens and look at a cop and think, oh, shit, like, I got to run, it's a struggle. They shouldn't fear the cop. It should be more like, okay, if I see a cop, I feel, safe. I feel safe. You should feel
that's what
safe.
they're projecting to us.
Right, no,
Because that's the way, like you were saying, they're moving them from where they should be to if they were there and they were in their community, or at least have be in one spot. And those are one of the biggest problems I noticed. Walking in, you're gonna think it's funny. The goddamn air conditioned car, police cars. If they walk in the beat, they got the radio, the windows closed, and the air conditioning. You maybe have a conversation loud, and they turn around. Oh, they look like they fighting. No sir, two white guys is holding their gun, and we like, what's your problem? Now I'm upset because you got your gun on me, because pretty much like you pull out a gun on me. Like I used to do victim services, victim safety advisor, change locks all over the city, all Brooklyn. I mean the baddest neighborhoods, the worst neighborhoods for me. Walking inside, was it Jewish and the white neighbors. I couldn't stand going there. I could go to any spot in Brooklyn, everybody's terrified of the lungs. Oh, it's dead, dangerous, I'm not going there. I go, everybody's cool. Right? Because that's, I would say, my type of people, because that's the people I grew up with. But, cops, they don't feel that way when they come in. They're scared because they fret, they don't know. When you don't know something, you're scared. And instead of keeping them in that neighborhood so they can learn these people. Because all drug dealers are not bad. All thieves are not bad. All crackers, they got some few people that's real vicious. I know crackers, even those big super drug dealers, they did great for their community. They made their own hospital. They did that. They did for their community what the government wasn't doing for them.
But
Okay?
you'll notice.
And like my neighborhood, that neighborhood was clean. Kids were going to school. Every day is safe, knowing there was nobody bothering them. Because if you messed up on this side, you was dead. If you messed up on that side, this is the section his family is in, you safe. That section thing. We knew the people.
Right.
It was bad. The people were coming to do something. I knew, like I would tell you, stand in the corner and say, okay, this guy's mine. He's mine because he just don't belong here. Because we knew everybody. And that is community policing. Even though it's coming from a drug distributor or drug dealer, that's community policing that his neighborhood is protected. Okay? And if you was back in the 80s and you remember all those riots in Washington Heights, the police just started that shit. Because I was a super building and it was a van with all the cameras before the fights, before those riots. It was all those cameras. And it was inciting all those riots. Those are ones starting all these things. So when all that big stuff happened, to supposedly make that police stop crime, remember how this Washington Heights Shrine got cut in half? It's because they made another police station. A couple of blocks down the court, it's cut in half. Police station here, police station now, 34 got half the crime.
I mean, they did the
That's
same
your
thing.
big mayor.
They did the same thing out in Philadelphia.
And my brother-in-law has it on film.
So obviously, we have different opinions on, what the system is like, but we all have a general, I think, agreement that, thank you, that there's a lacking of communication when it comes to both parties.
And respect.
And respect. And one of the things that I'm trying to bring about is trying to get the community and the officers together more, starting with the retired police and then building up to the active duty police. Hopefully, come together to get some of this progression in the time. Today I just wanted to get you guys' feeling on what we could do. One of the things you guys mentioned was policing ourselves. So what the Bronx County Department of Public Safety is able to do, based off the state, is to do that requirement. Now they're in a specific sector right now. Their goal is to grow within time. My goal and my duty at the moment is to have 5 to 10 individuals trained by the end of the year to go into patrols, and then from every year increase that. So, just like Joseph and Abraham said, you want that for your own community, for the individuals to do. So there are ways to do that. You can carry firearms, you can detain, you can handcuff, but the one thing you can't do is arrest. So you can detain them, or the level that we're at is that you can detain them, handcuff them, everything, but you have to wait for a cop to arrest them. So that's the progression that we're trying to do. So two folds. One is bringing the officers and the general public together in this type of environment, and then building the force for the particular sectors in the community.
One question, do the officers really respect you? Because around my block, I'm in a 2-4 precinct, around 2-4 precinct, and I know officers, the auxiliary police officers, people that volunteer for auxiliary, they insult them, and they actually making a joke about these people. And I'm like, they're trying to help you out. And I tell officers straight up, they're trying to help you out. Because they respect you a little better in my neighborhood. Like if I was in another neighborhood telling an officer that, I'll be getting the ass kicking, the special moment. But since I'm in a white neighborhood, a real white liberal neighborhood with Jews, you can tell them things. And the Jewish people can tell them things. And you can tell them things because that's, because they be insulting. This guy is real happy he has on. And he said, oh, there's the sheriff, look at the badge he has. He has the star. And they made a joke about him. Oh, he's never gonna become a cop. He's a sheriff. They don't want him like that. And I was like, my man, he love to be one of you, and you disrespecting him. He's a man. That's a man. Because bottom line, that's still a man. Or every man is man. Doesn't matter what thing they sexual reference and thing. Because I told my friend years ago, don't mess with that guy. He's still a man. A couple of months later, that guy bust his ass. See, now you got your ass kicked by him. Because you started with him. But he's mad, and I told that officer, because like that, you can't do it. Because I actually know that officer from when I used to do victim search. I used to get the police escorts. I used to do all these, to change locks. Because I did a lot of them high-profile ones. The one in the Lower East Side, the lady that got stabbed in the garage. Remember that one? I changed the lock a week before. I changed the lock, so I knew when it got killed. I knew a lot of these people got killed when I was doing that. After a point, my gang mentality just came back, and I really didn't care for anybody. I just did the lock and left. I didn't want to hear the story. I didn't want to hear nothing. I didn't believe half of the people. I just burned out of it because it was half of the people for Section 8, the other half of the thing. But that's how people are. But the cops, bottom line, they don't respect people, and they show them not to respect them. And if they don't live in the community, they're never going to respect anybody in the community, because the bottom line is, once they punch out, they get the hell out, so they can beat your ass, tell you what you want to tell me, but they know they ain't going to have no repercussions, because jump in the car, go home, and if you stop with them, they still got their gun, and they still got their buddies to protect them. So they don't feel, like my brother-in-law's an officer, my brother's officer, my brother-in-law's an officer, he's about the only nice person I know is an officer. I know a few of them, the only person. He wants to get by the day without getting himself hurt. He wants to get by. He respects everybody in the Carolinas. He respects all the people, all the bad section in Carolina where they did that van killing, when the officer shot the guy in the van. Yeah. He told him, what the hell you did that for? He knows him. He said, what the hell you did? Matter of fact, after that, he transferred to the airport. In the same organization, just transferred to the airport because he couldn't deal, because he knows those officers are like that. Because that guy killed that person, he really didn't give a shit. He would get killed for something anyway. That's his mentality. After everything happened, and that's what the guy is saying. He would get killed for something anyway.
I'm trying to get people to realize, like you said, he's going to kill himself anyway.
He's gonna get
so if I'm going to be in your neighborhood, you get smart with me and I shoot you, at the end of the day, it's going to be nothing, because I know you would just be friends with Jose down the block. You know what I'm saying? Sooner or later, one of y'all going to shoot each other. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, why care for a generation that's just going to constantly kill themselves? You know what I mean? And that's the mentality. But like he's saying, if you don't live in that neighborhood, yeah, I think living in the neighborhood helps you police yourself better. Because you know what? If I live next door to you for 10 years, I'm a cop and I do something to your family, now I got to go home. You know what I'm saying? Now I got to realize, damn, I uphold the law. But like I said, it's a double-edged sword, because you could be in the wrong, and just because the community doesn't think you were wrong, and I arrest you, I still got to walk through that same block. You know what I'm saying?
But there's a difference between arresting somebody and do it respectfully.
Right.
There's a big difference. If you arrest me, if I know I just, it's part of I know a lot of criminals, and they know they doing wrong.
Right.
Some of them are stupid, and they should be getting shot. I'll be honest with you. I know people got killed because they're so stupid that people just killed them. But they know the thing. Like, I got people that go get out of jail, what I got to do? I get my 3 squares in the cop. And that's what they're interested in. And they know that they want to do something, but nothing too bad. Because they want to get out in like 6 or 7 years. They want to do the whole shit. So that's what they do. They want to do that. But the cops don't realize that, because, there's no community, there's no communications.
And the cops always
and the
feel like...
overseer thing, like I'm telling you, they train them to be overseers. And that's back from the slave days, and they got the same mentality for hundreds of years. Because they treat us like we're slaves. They overseers.
And a lot of cops feel like they're better than everybody. Like they're better than regular security, they're better than public safety, they're better than auxiliary. And I know this one personally because I used to do bounty hunting legally in PA. Yeah. And you go and it's like, yo, why are you giving me beef when I'm taking care of technically.
You're garbage.
You have a warrant list, yes. But I'm going into these neighborhoods, and I can do this with no gun. You know, yeah, I have a little beanbag gun or a little taser with me, but I can go in there with no deadly weapons and still apprehend these same people. You know, there's a difference.
Because you're respecting them.
Exactly. You know, there's a way to talk to somebody and there's a way not to talk to somebody. And a lot of, I don't want to just label it to cops. I want to label it to people in general. And a lot of people don't understand that, which is why a lot of people do customer service. You see, everybody goes in the supermarket and you're like, yo, why that manager talking to that person like that? Or why is that person talking to the manager if they really know they couldn't do anything like they wanted? You know what I'm saying? We as a people really don't know how to talk. You know, granted, you know, when I get pulled over, there's a little white guy inside of me that comes out, but that's, you know, that's how you talk to that situation. You get out of that.
I turn on the light, shut off the car.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what we do.
You go in the hood, you know what I'm saying? You can't be taken advantage of. There's a certain tone and a certain aggression that you got to speak with. You know what I'm saying? So nobody labels you as whatever they want to label you and try to take advantage of. So, but you have to learn how to speak to every genre that you're going into, whether it's the white community, the Hispanic community, the black community, you know what I'm saying? Even, I know it because, you know, I'm part Spanish, so you go into the Heights as a Puerto Rican, you start learning Dominican dialect because there's a way to talk to people. And the same thing, Dominicans learn more, you know, Puerto Rican dialect because there's a certain way you got to converse and talk to people so you're not coming off as abrasive or you're not coming off as cocky, and you know what I'm saying? So you want to keep that bond, you know? And a lot of times people, like today, they segregate us, and they still segregate us, and people don't understand that, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, Harlem used to be, you know, predominantly black and Hispanic, you know what I'm saying? But if it's supposed to be black and Hispanic, why label this particular section Spanish Harlem? You know what I'm saying? Why label this particular black Harlem? Why label this Little Italy? Why label this Chinatown? Why not, you know, melt, you know, New York City is the biggest melting pot, but yet we also have the biggest segregation pots ever, you know what I'm saying? And that's where we go wrong with a lot of times, because we got kids, all of us can go to the school, and we all come from different backgrounds, and we can all go to the same school, we can all power like this at the lunch table and whatever, but at the end of the day, you're getting on the 2 train, you're getting on the 1 train, you get on the 6, you get on the D, you know what I'm saying, you're taking the bus, and we all going our separate ways to our segregated communities. You know what I mean? And I think...
You know, to be honest with you, New York is not as segregated as, you know, you're saying, because I go to the South, and I go to different places, and...
Well, I mean, yeah, South is a lot worse.
That is not. That's why I be looking up, because it's not.
Right.
They have an Irish section. They have this. I go to Boston. It's the Irish section. I like the Yankees. And to start argument, I wear my Yankee hat.
You can literally get in the fight.
And I don't give a shit. I went to a bar, and the Yankees playing the Sox, and every time the Boston would make a home run, they'll break a glass, right? Beer bottle. So Yankees came back, hit a home run. I got the beer bottle. The big ass car told me, I don't got your back. You got your back? I don't got your back. I know what you. You getting out here, you by yourself.
But the same thing in Philadelphia. You know, you got the worst team in the world, but they die. But it's the same thing, you know. Yeah, a lot of the world is more segregated, especially down south. And I've seen it personally, you know, where, like this part's, the gang relations are so bad in like Washington, where there's parts of stores where, say you're out to a Crips and Bloods,
You can't go to that store.
you gotta work on the left side of the store.
Your family can't
You
even
gotta
go to
work
that
on the
store.
right side of the store. Y'all can't even come to the
Your
middle of the
family
store.
can't even go to that store because you
got-
related to a club.
You got a separate exit. You got a separate entrance and exit. So only regular people can walk in anywhere they want. Maybe
They don't know
They got it.
culture.
But they got separate break rooms. They got everything. Like, and it's the same thing in certain stores when it comes to black, white, you know, blacks and whites, or blacks, Hispanics and whites. The blacks and Hispanics are over here in this part of the store, and the whites are over there now. And they don't really. Only person that cross with everybody is the managers, and 9 times out of 10 they're all white. You know, you rarely see a black or Hispanic manager down south, unless it's a privately owned company where they just don't, yo, you're gonna do it my way, or that's it, you know. And it's bad, like, 'cause we as the people, we need to stick together, black, white, or indifferent, like, and that's the thing, like, you know, with Trump in office, we need to stick together more than,
For real.
you know what I'm saying? Because people don't realize, and this is my biggest gripe with Trump, and this is personal, you banning, or your problems are stemming, right now, all the countries you don't have business in.
Yeah.
But the countries that are really doing bad to the United States, you got business in, and you turning a blind eye. Well, not even blind, you see what's going on, and you say something about it, but you're quick to have something else
That's
come
that
up
green
with
race.
someone else.
The green race.
So one of the things that I'm trying to do is, or that I'm trying to do, and I do, is people say, you know, what can we do to change? People talk, but they don't do, they don't produce, they don't have discussions, they don't push it out there. So one, this is one of my steps. Second is asking, well, what do you think would change? What do you guys think would change the culture between that we've had with the All Lives Matter topic? Do you guys have any opinions? Or?
I can tell you what brings a lot of communities having a once a year function for the community. Like that little park right up here. You know the park right up here, that little park? Get us some, there's a police station right there. Get a group. Get those officers to have a vet with some of these youth because they cannot change us. I'm already set in my ways. I don't like a lot of people. Yeah, I like a lot of people. I don't like a lot of people. You know, like put it this way. If you was walking your door, right, and the truck was coming, I'm gonna grab the door. I really like animals more than some people, most people. I don't want to see a cat ran over. Goddamn, I stopped for a rat the other day. My folks said, dude, what happened? Rat was crossing the street. But I seen a lot of people die in front of me. You know, the reason I'm tarnished, I was 5 years old, 6 years old, my friend in Katona Park got his face blown off, right? All the blood on me, his head, because of gang fight. You know, I seen a long time ago. Like I don't understand when people come back, I'm sorry to say, come back. I know the problem is they went to war, but they were never immune to, they never been in situations until they went to, as an adult, to a military place where they shouldn't have been, but they seen death and they seen it and they seen people get hurt. But if you grew up seeing people get hurt, you're used to it. And these guys is, you know, having heart attacks and doing this and doing drugs. A lot of the military people, because they can't handle because they seen death. I couldn't handle it when I was 6 years old, but the time I was 14, I seen so many people die. I seen the guy from the project. You know the correspondence first lady project? My sister's friend from school, stepfather raped him. They could do that and go off the roof. And I was like, oh shit. You know, really. That's not, so seeing that traumatic thing and hearing that people doing this, and again with the heroes and this, you're hyping them up, and you know, they're not used to it, so they can't handle things like that. And the bottom line, they in their house, they can't handle it. Because they've seen it repeating and think.
So what would you recommend?
What I would
fix the problem?
recommend right now is get a community together, get the community, push a group meeting. The more, if you have a monthly or every 2 month event that these people can meet each other, like you can have right here in this building, you can get some police here with some community people, and they can do their things, talk, have little conversations, and do their things, and hang out, and respect them, and respect the kids. The kids can grow up respecting the officers. Because when I was in the Boy Scouts and officers was coming in, I started respecting the officers. You see, I didn't say I respect the fire departments because they didn't think. I respected the officers because they were cool. And after we saved that cop's life, the cops were cool to us too. But they were nice for a reason, but if they don't get together, they're not together with us. And suddenly, when I was in school, 4 o'clock every day, we were in the hangout in the store on 35th Street. Because I was in this club, this group. Every day the cops would be there at 4 o'clock to frisk us. Is that right? Just to frisk, we ain't doing shit. And you come in every day, so nobody had their guns, nobody had nothing, nobody had weed, nobody had nothing. It was all in somebody else's house because we went down there to play. Everybody knew that, but they'll come and frisk us every day. It was a ritual. And to a point we said, yeah, let's go across the street at 10 to 4. Go across the street, all spread out, and the cops go in there with 2 police cars. And they looking around. nobody's there. So the arcade store was closed. And the arcade, that's what they were doing. They gotta respect us like we gotta respect them, but they gotta be their devil. They gotta be, since they the overseer, and they can make things happen because they got the money to make things happen. And the people here, we don't got the money to make things happen. So if you got the money to make something happen, have an event. Have an event and invite them in, but they can enjoy what you have and see a better, something better.
You know, see a positive side.
You see a positive side of a person, you get positive. Okay? As I grew up, I started seeing positive stuff. I got more positive. As I start seeing things, like my football coach told me, you can't do this because these kids are smarter than us. Okay?
We also have
We're
to
stupid.
train
We're setting our way. We're
At the
stupid.
same time, like, I finally saw something on social media that I actually love, that the dude stopped 2 black kids from fighting and was like, yo,
Yeah, I saw that
you see
one.
everybody got their phones out?
I got only
You see?
training.
But this is what we need more
We
of.
don't need to do that. I told these kids, we don't need to do this because there's going to be some cop that comes up and trying, you're going to be fighting and you're going to get yourself in trouble, man. There's no reason to get yourself. They did this to me. I grew up with cops harassing us every day. None of them came to talk to us. They came to, oh, get up, let me check you. Okay? So we didn't like it.
So what would you do to, I recommend as a solution?
We need to come together as a community. That's the first one. First one is
Takes a
any
village.
change. Any
So-
change starts with self.
Ask them to come, bring the community together.
I think a smart thing would be to have the police go into high schools or elementary schools and portray themselves in a positive way. Have them do events with kids so that kids can see, yeah, we're here as authority, but we're doing something
We're here
positive
for
too.
you.
And we're here for you. And you have to start with the kids because adults are adults, they're already set in the way. But if you start with having them go in to the school, do things that we used to do back in the days, do career day, that you take up and you send a police officer in as maybe a sergeant, and he can show how he ran and he made his way up.
They do that in my neighborhood. With the,
But if they see, because if the kids see them as
white side,
positive, they're gonna
white
do
side, they
change.
do that. Cops come in, they do their event. They're not doing it here.
I mean,
They should be doing it.
statistically-
What we need it is here and for the youth of here. Like somebody that's 21, 25 is done. Okay, he's set in his ways. He's gonna be a hoodlum. He's gonna die a
And
hoodlum.
you
Unless
look
he
at it,
wakes up
to
one
this
day,
point,
you get the kids.
Statistically, people join the military just to get out of the bad situation.
That's what most of them do.
And they didn't, a lot
We
of
also recruit them in the band.
that's exactly.
Because those are the most likely to
They're
come
gonna
in.
be a gang member or join the military.
Because you want them to pull them out, you know? What people fail to realize is, at any given time, I already see the government pulling ex-military to patrol streets. For one reason only. Military are used to running towards the bullet fire. Right now, we have cops running away from bullet fire, shooting backwards.
Thank you. That's what I was
You know
going
what
to
I'm
say.
saying? They're not even standing there and trying to aim and shoot. They're just running with their guns behind them shooting because they want to get home. You know what I'm saying? And I respect that. As a family man, yeah, it's your life or my life at the end of the day because I need to go home to my kids. You know what I'm saying? If you don't listen to me when I tell you, one time, I'm not even going to give you 2 times. I tell you to put a gun down, that's it. You're going to get one shot. Because at the end of the day, I got to look at it as, do I want my family carrying my casket? Or is it easier for me to sit back and say, I told you to put your gun down. It's justified now. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you got to look at. If I'm a recruiter, yeah. When you recruit in gangs, you don't go to the honors class to recruit a gang member unless you need somebody to cook up some shit for you. You don't go into no chemistry honors. You go right to the special ed class. You go right to the D
My
students.
classes.
Because you know they're already in that mentality that I don't care.
My class was a gang.
And that's
You need
what you got to get
for
for.
a gang.
Phoenix, what about you? What do you think would help?
I was just gonna say, like, last year I attended an event, and actually I think it was sponsored by the NYPD. I was invited to, like, he's an artist manager, friend of me, Dad in Guzman. We invited my sister to perform and myself as well. And what they had there was basically, we all talked about, like, it was a police organized event where they had, like, police officers talking to the community, they had performers, they had vendors, they had food and all that stuff. They actually, we found out later after they performed, they
look, we're just like you, and by the way, we are police officers, but we are just like you. So when you look at us, you know, dancing on the stage, you see us as you, part of you, you know, but when we go to work on a daily basis, you know, we do
Just
work
people.
as police officers, but we are people just like you, and I think that event was positive, and it had an impact on the kids over there, because kids were able to see that.
Maybe
what
they could-
cops, yeah, they do, that's their 9 to 5, just like a dentist has a 9 to 5, and so, you know, a teacher has a 9 to 5. But at the end of the day, when they put their uniform away, they're just like you and me. And I think events like that, where you can bring the community and the police together to kind of like, you know, bond, is important. And I think that is a good thing. I mean, it's
Because I had
positive.
gangs, when I was a kid, I'll be honest with you, the only ones that became police officers was the punks. I mean, every punk I knew became a cop. We used to beat up on them on the regular. Now he's an officer, he feels tough because he got a gun. So there comes you coming out and say, your brother come out and say, yo, put down your gun, I'll beat your ass. Because you just a punk like you was in school. You still a punk. But you got a gun and you think you're a man because you got a gun. And that's the problem. But you got to start small steps. Everything is a big step. We just can't have a big giant event saying the police is a sponsor. You got to have our organizations sponsor them and have the officers there too with them.
Participate.
And
How often do we
participate.
have block parties now?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, another, every
We
block.
want block party.
It was summertime with block parties everywhere.
Listen, we're trying to get a block party here.
community boards normally have a national day out for officers. So what I would try to tell you guys is, we'll push for that in the upcoming months. Abraham, do you have, I mean, you're a doer, you're a guy that gets things done. You push it out. Do you have maybe something that you've been holding back or that you are doing that you say this could help?
I mean, like I said, it's different, all different areas for us to attack it. I agree with what everyone said as far as the event to kind of bridge the gap between the community. I think it needs to also be combined with sort of something like this, where an open discussion between the cops and the people, where they can voice their concerns and kind of get everything out in the open and kind of try to understand each other's situation. Another thing, people learning their rights and understanding, all right, what can the police officers do, what can they do, understand when they are just doing their job and when they're stepping over the line. If you know your rights, you understand, all right, he's doing this, he has the right to do this right now, or look, all right, this is wrong, you're not allowed to do this, you're stepping over the line. Like, I don't know, it's such a wide topic, but I think it's just a combination of all those things working together
And you're going to train the cops too, because,
They need
you cannot hurt.
There's
You can't,
sensitive training.
your guys, the cops, to be honest with the police, they hurting our youth. Because if I'm playing a video game or doing something and they give them a ticket and they start them off on the line of having a criminal offense. Some kids are 16 years old and they got, I didn't want to show off the video game or wanted to, and they got a felony. So guess what? They can never become a cop. Okay? Because I played the video game too loud or did something too loud. Now I can't become an officer because back when I was 16 and 17, I was playing my thing and it disturbed somebody that when he lowered his window to order something, it was making noise. Okay? But they got to think like that. These kids, you got to give them every opportunity to have a future. Every opportunity. Like right now, I told you before, I could teach young men locksmithing by trade. Okay? I could give them their license. Okay? I could give them the affidavit license, and if we can make money, we could do event, make money, and pay for their license, because it costs like $150. You can pay for, after they give them the free class, we can make money and pay each one of their affidavits to the thing, and there'll be a licensed locksmith, and they can make money themselves and start their own business, and that's giving a young man a career. Okay? Because a lot of young men, because I teach, he teaches, and if you notice by now, we have the three people. We have the guys who read, we have the guys who can do things with their hands, and the guys that look and they can do a little of both. Okay? It's very rare that you're going to get a man that goes to read and work really, really well. Right? Because I had dyslexia and I had to train myself to constantly read if I could start reading again. Because I had a lot of left poisoning. I did this. So I read all the time. So it's there. Because if I start reading for you, I got to get on hook the farms. Yeah.
Anthony, do you have anything that you think that would help?
You got to help.
Yeah, man, people like like social responsibility. I mean, in New York City, they close their door and have everything. That's it. So people take up.
They better.
People don't have social skills. I go to classes with adults,
They don't.
and I'm like, damn, like you don't have any social skills whatsoever.
They're on the computer.
I'm talking to you, yeah, they on their phone.
Looking at
These are adults. So what do you expect kids to do? Kids do crimes because why? They lack a lot of opportunities to be somebody in their world. So they do other things to become somebody. Yeah, people form their own pecking order. Wherever they at, go to prison, it's a pecking order. Live over down the block, there's a pecking order. They're going to create it no matter what, because it's human
They
nature.
have to have that.
So if you lack options, you're going to fall into that subculture. You know what I'm saying? That everybody, because that's the mainstream. So, they shut down most of the trade schools. Now, I'm working in a trade school that's just for union workers. So if you're not a union worker, you can't get it.
But do you know, I actually had a class here teaching people, and I was supposed to teach a class, but then they wanted me to go to Brooklyn, and I'm going to Brooklyn. I want to do it here. I don't mind teaching for free, and I'm bringing my stuff, my tools and everything, and give them a license, the same class, the same syllabus we're doing there. Before I worked for 32BJ, I used to work for Brooklyn Tech, doing the same thing. I've been a lot instructor for over 20 years, 21 years. Been in that union 31 years. Been locksmiths, I don't even remember how long I've been a locksmith, but you got to give them the opportunity. I came from the street, I built myself, so I want to help my community. I want to help the people where I came from. I grew up in the Bronx, Belmont, Truman, and then the Kingsbridge section. And then the Heights, my father, divorced family and everything. I was on welfare. I'm not on welfare. I remember my car lessons. I went shoe shining at 9 years old to get my mother money. So I know being broke and I know being having money. So I'm here to help everybody. I'm a Mason. My job is to do charity. This is what a Mason does. Masons do charity. That's all we do. That's what we're supposed to do. We're a non-for-profit to do charity. If we don't do charity, we're not really Masons. So me helping my community is helping me be a better man. So I don't mind doing this.
So I gather more interactions from both sides would help, and pushing more events, inviting both parties as well. Same thing, just bringing them more together.
If
So
you had something like this, and you had, let's say, a couple of retired cops to come in and speak, because we also want to hear their side. You
that's the
understand?
second
You
step.
don't have to
And then the third step is actually active cops. So now I know it's close to 4 or it's past 4. So I'm just gonna ask one more question and we can keep it short. Has anybody ever been stopped and frisked here?
Told you, thousands, I'm with this, the whole 80s.
I'm frisked, beat up by the police. I mean,
Now you're an outspoken person. So can I ask the question did that happen out of you just walking down? Can you tell me this?
yeah, I'll tell you exactly. The top, the most prevalent time, we were in a mall. We were in a mall with my friends. I had a hoodie on, and first the security came, told us to take the hoodie off. So we take the hoodie off. Like, why is it dress code in the mall? Like, yep. I'm pointing to the store. Like, y'all sell hoodies right there. I'm not allowed to wear a hoodie.
No, they don't want it over your head because they told the guy in the casino. They told the guy in the casino because if something happens, they got to make sure they see everybody's face.
Yeah,
Because the guy, he had a big hood like this thing.
Yeah, but it
He
wasn't
looked like a
wasn't even,
hobo.
it was back when, I don't know if you know, time Iceberg, the clothing line was big, and it was like half of my head. You can see my face, but whatever, he just wanted to give us a problem. So, they gave him like, all right, you're being rowdy, get out, we're kicking you out. And they called the police over there. There's like 2 officers that are in the mall. And we started walking out, and they pushed my friend's girlfriend, like, yo, keep walking. He was like, yo, chill. He like put his hand out to hold him, and then he grabbed him. And the security guard officer grabbed him. As soon as he grabbed him, all the others just jumped on us. And one started macing my friend in the face. The other also threw me on the ground. Threw his knee into my back. They brought us in the back, me and my friend. As soon as we got to the back, threw me on the ground, tripped me on the floor. I had longer hair than I have now back then. He grabbed me my hair, dragged me on the floor. Basically, it was a whole crazy thing. Another security guard had to come in and get the officer off me, and they brought us in the back. They ended up letting us go. We got arrested. We went to court, and they were like, all right, you can either take all these charges or like we had to basically say it was disorderly conduct or whatever. And they were gonna let us go, no fine or nothing if we just say that. Or they were trying to scare us like we had all this other made up charges. Yeah, exactly. And I didn't know enough about the law at the time. Like I was only 15, 16 at the time. And that's kind of what prompted me learning my rights and all this stuff, whatever. But it's happened like other times after that. But like I said, me knowing my rights has alleviated more situations. I got myself and friends out of situations just from knowing what the officers can and can't do. And they get scared a lot of times. It's like, oh, he knows what he's talking about. He knows this, he knows that, he knows this. And they kind of just, if they know they're in the wrong, like, I was pressing this for no reason, they'll back off, so.
You did the car thing yet?
Say it again?
So these three have been stopped. What about you three?
No, I you didn't ask about the fight with the police.
I wasn't trying to go into details.
Right up there, right on the highway.
Yeah.
I did victim services. I have a city badge. I had the city badge because victim services. I have my ID. I sit in my car. Fuck, come run off. No uniform cop come running up to my car, and that's a badass nigga. Come run. I thought he was gonna rob me. He come out the car and scream at me. I knocked him the fuck out. And he pulled out a gun. I kicked the gun and kept on punching him. Oh my God. And then he gets up. I said, you ain't touching that gun. I'm telling you now, you ain't touching that gun because I got the hammer too. I was going to use that. He calls a thing at the same time I called up the city. And my boss is on the phone with me calling his captain. I said, he jumped me. He jumped me and I told him the thing. And they wanted me to go to the police station if I could apologize. He would apologize to me. I said, I ain't taking any. I can apologize and they go over and ask him anything. I said, you know something? I don't want that fucking man to say apology. He can kiss my ass. He's still a jerk. Okay, just tell him to stay the fuck away from me. Okay? Straight up. Because he's the one, if you coming up to somebody in the bad section, if you got your ID, you can come up to somebody. You're supposed to show you got a shield. Okay? And you can simply see I got my lighter on at the time doing paperwork. With the light on doing paperwork, last job of the night, I'm parked and he started. And then he's trying, he was doing something. Yeah, doing paperwork. That's what he's trying to tell his boss. Well, his boss is getting yelled at by his captain. The guy he was right in that building right there doing the locking. Don't you see his car? And then I'm short too. It's not like I look like I'm doing something. It's not even hookers there no more. It's like nothing there but one building and a guy with a shitty ass Hyundai. I ain't doing nothing there but doing paperwork and the light is on. When you find pulling out the paperwork. But he pulled out, and I tell you, I work for mine because, you didn't pull out a gun.
Oh, the police cameras.
You didn't have no camera.
No, that would be good.
Yeah.
Obviously, they don't want them because they don't want to be responsible for that action.
Yeah.
But if they had the cameras, they would cut out a lot of this police brutality.
Troublemakers, have you guys
Actually, my experiences with cops has definitely not been as rough as you guys, but I've been stopped plenty of times while driving my car. Sometimes it's just the random, broken headlight, cop comes over, they ask me for my identification, give them the paperwork, all good, they let me go. Here's your ticket, but if you take care of it within the next 24 hours, you don't have to worry about it. But I've had two instances where, actually the last one, I forget what it was ridiculous. I was double parked in Northern Boulevard in Queens, and I was picking up a friend from a club or whatever. Because I drive, I don't drink. So I went to pick him up, and I had double parked at the corner. It was 1 a.m. Definitely no traffic whatsoever. Everything's clear. So I'm standing there, and I noticed a car pulled behind me, but it didn't have the light, so it wasn't a police car. But I'm in the car with my two other friends, and we're waiting for this girl to come out, and we're just standing there waiting, and I'm like, what is the car behind me? I'm like, there's a car behind me. I think that's a police car. And I'm like, but they don't have the lights, they don't signal for me to move, so I just stood there. So then the lights went on. They waited at least probably about 5 or 7 minutes. So then they had the lights on. They came out, 2 cops, male and female, one on my side, one on the other side. I turned on the light, so they usual. Turned on the light and rolled down my window, and I said, how you doing? How you doing, sir? And he was like, can I see your paperwork? I'm like, sure. I gave it to him. They go back to the car. They stood there for literally like 10 minutes. They must have been wanting my information, trying to figure something out, trying to dig something out. Because
Sharing your information is the first 7 minutes.
So that's why I'm sitting with my friends and I'm like, what's taking them so long? And at that point, when I was from Vanessa, I already come out of the bar and I just like, what's going on? I'm like, I'll just see it, double park waiting for you. They just, you got my information. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna give me a ticket for being double parked. And I'm like, whatever, I'll pay for it. I was double parked, but I wasn't really like obstructing any vehicle or anything like that. So it took them a long time. They came back, they handed me the paper, they didn't say anything, they gave me the ticket, and I said, thank you. I actually wasn't being sarcastic. I said, all right, thank you. Blah, blah. So then I'm looking at the paper, so my friend's like, oh, well, help me pay the ticket. How much is it? I'm like, I don't know, it's probably like $7,500. Just look at it, it's probably there. And they're like, there's no amount here. I'm like, so I'm looking at the paper. They charged me with fucking, they sent me to criminal court, and they charged me with disorderly conduct. And I'm like, what? Yeah, disorderly conduct, that's what it said on the thing. So I'm like, this is crazy. I'm like, I'm double parked. Like, I should have got a traffic ticket and everything. But disorderly conduct. I'm like, that's crazy. So when I went home, I told my, I called my parents. I'm like, my mom told me, oh, don't worry about it. You go to court, you'll get it. I'm like, nah, I'm not taking my chances. Honestly, like, it's not that I don't believe in the law, but sometimes you go to court and you don't have your lawyer and you think you're going to defend yourself. You're against a judge and police officers who, honestly, they're not going to take your word for the cop. So I had to hire myself a fucking lawyer. I spent a couple of thousand, which I didn't have and I didn't want to, but I borrowed some money, I took a lawyer, got to court just to find out that they dismissed it because there was a lack of evidence. Look, the minute you have a lawyer representing you, you're good. This is what our community is lacking. One is knowledge of legal rights are, and also, like, when we are presented with, to go to a day in court, we don't have the proper representation. We think we're going to go in there because we are who we are, we're going to tell the truth, and they're going to believe us. They're really not. I mean, look what happened to Khalif Bauer, that kid.
Oh, yeah.
He was arrested because somebody said that, this black kid stole a bank rob, so they thought that it was safe. He was arrested, there was nothing, there was no evidence, nothing. They locked him up in Rikers for 2-3 years without even going to court.
3 years.
3 years, and when he came out, he was all screwed up because
He
in Rikers, he was beat up by
$500.
other inmates, he was beat up by cops, and then he ended up committing suicide. That is a tragedy, that shouldn't happen. First of all, you should not be sent to jail without being charged. You are supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, but it's never like, it doesn't seem to be that way sometimes.
The crazy thing is, even if he did steal the book bag and got charged with it, there's no way he would have got 3 years for that. It's like,
And just to add to my
$1 million in the book
story,
bag, you know what I'm saying?
the cops, and this is the second time it happened, I work out. I have short hair. I realized when I get a girl, all that stuff, but I was coming out, with my gym clothes. But then when that happened, I was just wearing clothes. Twice that happened, the cops happened to mark male with their tickets. So I always feel that it's okay, well, they see me as a male, Spanish, maybe profiling me.
You should go to court, dress up.
I addressed that to my lawyer, and she said, look, if we can have a case, I can point you to the right direction, to the right person. You're going to be going up against NYPD. It's going to take time and money. If you want to do it, it's up to you. But it's when it happens too often, it's like, come on, you can't. Well, hold on, you can't even read my license. The information is there. Even if I look like whatever, my information is there. You mean to tell me that you wrote everything down except the correct sex? How do you write everything else but one thing incorrect? Like, there's something wrong with what you're doing. So, like I said, it's just crazy. Like, I should have been given a ticket for double parking, but I shouldn't have been sent to criminal court.
Just to give you information on further, if it ever happens to you or anybody else, if they ever make a mistake on your ticket, you can get it thrown out on a technicality. The ticket is supposed to be entered in as evidence.
But it says that it doesn't necessarily.
Now, I'm telling you, I had this with my friend of mine. We got pulled over. They wrote down 1988 on his birthday. He's born in 1986. He went in there, said, I'm not born in 1986. Myself, we went and we were coming home. It was probably 5-6 years ago. We were coming home from White Plains. We got off from Fordham on Metro North. We got on the me and my boy were trying to get on the train. It's the gated thing. All the machines were messed up, no bills, no nothing, whatever. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna swipe and you just come in with me, whatever. Cop was waiting right there, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, y'all can wait right here for people to do this, but y'all can't get somebody to come fix this, whatever. Got into a whole big thing. It was at 12 a.m. when it happened. We did it, you know what I'm saying? Like, but they wrote 12 p.m. on a ticket. So when I went there, we found out the cop wasn't even on 12 p.m. He wasn't even on duty. He went there, look, did you do this? I'm like, I didn't do it at this time. Y'all wrote time on this ticket. This is what happened. They had to throw it out because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, they wrote mail. I'm not a male. This is not me. This is not the ticket for me. You get thrown out because of that. You just got to keep pressing that issue.
Yeah, I mean, I did my research on that, it just said that it doesn't necessarily mean that.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they did with the ticket with me. My car is parked. I do alternate side. I don't got no mileage in my car. Alternate side. 1 o'clock in the morning on Monday, I was in Sheepshead Bay according to the ticket. And I went and took it to the thing. So I'm showing the cop. I said, listen, I said, only got one set of keys. And I said, well, somebody took your key. Nobody took my keys. No, we got into a long thing with the judge, right? And he said, I can see it's a mistake. Because I got to a point and said, listen, my man, are you dumb or stupid? I'm telling you, I haven't been in Brooklyn. I'm telling your ass this. Nobody got my key. Nobody drives my car. So I don't know what you probably understand. Do you speak English? So he said, well, it's confusing addresses, but he gave me a $25 contempt of court ticket. I said, well,
Yeah, just so y'all know, my older sister's a lawyer, so anytime you need a lawyer, every lawyer in New York State has to take at least 3 pro bono cases in a year. I mean, they have to take at least 3.
Yeah.
They have to do for free a year. So if you ever need a lawyer and you're going in to look for a lawyer, just try to, they're not going to take any, some may take them high profile cases because they want to look at names for themselves.
Exactly.
But most of them, everyone will have to take 3 pro bono cases a year. So, just in case you're tight for money.
That's a good
that's powerful
information.
But have you been pulled? Have you been frisked? I
I've
care about that. I want to know.
been pulled over, I've been frisked, man.
I got sweets.
I've been violated,
Oh, man.
Gay cops out there that try to touch you. They try to take your manhood, like how you feel about that. Like they try to, they try to edge you on, so you can swing on them. So they, and
Accidentally kicked in the nuts.
it's a matter of, lucky for me, like I said, I was in the military organization, so they teach you how to keep your bearing, you know what I'm saying? So you grit your teeth hard, but at the end of the day, like I said, if I was a cop, it's either I'm going home to my family or I'm not going home. So those situations, you choose. I can either swing on you and keep my manhood and possibly wind up in a box, or I can suck it up and my lawyer just, sort it all out tomorrow. But I'm still going to throw my baby boy up in the air and play with him, you know what I'm saying? So you got to...
So that's all hard right
But that's
there.
instigating, though. That's like...
Yeah, they will if they don't like you or they really have no
They
reason
got to hold
to
up
keep you.
their ass and they go.
And like to his point, if you know your information, they will test you. Some of them like, you know what, you're still wrong. I don't make you wrong. You know what I'm saying? And they will just try to agitate you until they push you to the point. And a lot of these youth nowadays, they don't have that barrier. They just...
I did what you
Ready
said,
to
no,
snap.
right? I was in my friend's car. Lit the fuck. I was drunk like a motherfucker. I'm in my friend's car with the seatbelt on. They pulled him over, and the other car comes around, and he's open. I said, no, I'm not opening no window because you pulled him over,
Exactly.
and that's my designated driver, and I'm talking come outside. I'm not opening shit because I'm in the car secure, and you're gonna make me fall and charge me for a reckless
Public
drunk disorder.
intoxication.
Yeah. And I'm in the car saying, if you want to hurt me and injure me, have my rights taken and injure me because I'm gonna sue you straight up. You're gonna get sued. Once I get hurt and fall out because I'm secure and that's my designated driver, you pull them over and deal with him. You don't need to see my license. You don't need to see nothing. I'm the drunk nigga sitting down. And the other cop said, he's right. Leave that little nigga alone. Because I like this. I have my hand. I'm like.
Now for the most suspicious person in this room.
Yeah, I
Have
was.
you ever
I've Never. I've never been pulled over. I don't drive. But I've come, no, think about it, no, think.
Motorcycles, cars.
I've been pulled over by my car, but because of the American flag on my car, you know.
What the fuck makes me got a American car?
Big ass flag.
Wrong with you, boy? What you got a Mexican?
If I went down south, I expect that. But I've never been stopped or frisked for any reason at all.
Go to Texas.
So I always say, you know, but I dress like this, you know, jeans and a polo most of the time. I'm assuming if I dress a different other way, it's different. But Anthony, you made it very passive. I don't know if you want to go into it.
It was just weird. It was after Trump got elected. So, you know, I haven't got stopped on first for years. After Trump got elected, I'm traveling through 34th Street early in the morning, 8:30 in the morning. So I walk through, you know, I see them doing the bad thing, but I'm not on that side. And I do have a bag, but they didn't stop me. So I go to the turnstile, and 2 cops run up to me real fast. And I'm like, I stopped. They're like, oh, where you going? What you going? It's like, get on the train. So I already passed the turnstile. So I'm like, why would you ask that? So they're like, oh, give me the knife.
Knife?
Yeah, because, you know, stop and frisk is illegal. They have to say you have a weapon.
Yeah.
So I'm like, knife?
So I'm not Puerto Rican.
It's like, yo, bro, what are you, stupid? I don't have a knife. He's like, oh, I don't see that knife. And now they playing mind games, and they looking at me. It was like, you know, what you got in your pocket? I was like, no, my phone. They don't do this, the outside.
And then they say
So they did the outside.
They go in.
Yeah.
They play
And I was like,
games.
they didn't even apologize. So, you know, I was very livid, and I was going to work. Then they would sort of ask me personal questions. Where do you live? Where do you work? I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? I would say I'm going to work. It's 8:30 in the morning. Where else am I going? But, you know, I didn't tell them where I worked at. They was like, oh, let me just see your ID so I can let them. I'm like, you know what, man, here. Go ahead. He wrote down my name. I just want to let you know that you, let it be known that I stopped you. It's like, whatever. And it was like, oh, for no reason. You know, and it was 2 Spanish guys, so I had a bad taste in my mouth. I guess I didn't like Spanish people that was police for like a week or 2. You know. But it's a situation like that cause issues. It cause issues, and you have animosity.
Well, I didn't get pulled over. You know that sign that they check your bags on the train?
Yeah.
They pulled over, I see the race, they pulled over this black kid with a bag. And my ass come passing by, I got a long class. I come passing by with a big bag with wires sticking out, shit sticking out. One of the things are flashing. And I'm walking with a big ass bag. You know those cloth bags? Like this on the train. I'm like, this shit is heavy, so I'm like pushing it over the turnstile. And they're looking at me. They pull over the black kid. And I'm like, I would definitely pull over that little motherfucker right there. I have wires sticking out, hanging with electrical things.
See, it wasn't built yet. See what I'm saying?
It was flashing already. People on the train were looking at me like this. Like they're scooting over. But it's shit, I would have put looking at me. You had to see this bag. I'm going to take a picture and show everyone this. This bag I have is a big dirty ass bag with wires, alarm panels sticking out, buttons, you know, remote control buttons, and then I have this tester, with a battery so it can show, it simulates alarm systems, and it's flashing. And I forgot it, and then I got the glass break, and if you just hit the bag like this, it goes shh, shh. So it's making noise, it's flashing, and they pull over this kid doing nothing. That's it.
Well, besides,
I was upset because I'm like, all right, you want to arrest me on my way to work? So now, another time, it wasn't stop and frisk. I walked through the train doors. They say that's illegal. There was a bum in one car. So I crossed to the other side to get away from this smell. Police are waiting there just to see people in Jamaica.
Instead of kicking them out.
They
Instead of
arrested
kicking that
me
little ass person
for
out.
walking through the train doors.
Yeah.
So they arrested me. I missed work for 2 days.
Arrested just for
They arrested me for walking. I went through Central Bookings for walking through the train doors.
You're not supposed to
I had to call out of work.
cars.
I could have lost my job for walking through train doors. It's like, oh, it says don't walk. It doesn't say. It says do not walk through the door. It doesn't say do not walk through the the train doors or you could be arrested. Because if it said that, then I would have definitely not walked you there. But the train doors are open, so, you know what, I spent 2 days in jail.
But
For
they
that.
have valid reasons.
I see this fat lady, they're harassing her.
I lost hundreds of dollars,
Because she's
like
taking 2
$300.
seats, like 8 years ago.
That's insane.
She took 2
So
seats.
how am I supposed to feel about like police, you know, police in my neighborhood? You're not police in my neighborhood. You arrested me for nonsense.
They tried that with me, but I had my ass pumped.
We hit the time limit,
I needed some air.
so I just want to say thank you for coming, and for our host from the Montego Grandma Community Foundation. Thank you so much, I appreciate it.
Anytime.
You want to hear something funny about that?
Yeah.
A month later, they made it legal for you to walk through the train doors in Manhattan. Just in Manhattan.
Oh, check this out.
Oh, just a
Just in Manhattan.
You know,